Welcome to Crypto OGs.
Welcome to Crypto OGs, and we are here now with some from Initia.
Initia, that's right,
Initia.
sir.
Let's initiate this podcast
Let's do
asking
it.
who is some from Initia. Can you tell more to the audience? Who are you?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Zon. I'm the Chief BDSM Officer at Initia. Stands for Business Development, Strategy, and Marketing.
Okay.
Initia is a network for interwoven rollups. A little bit more about me is I personally have come from a big background in tech. I used to be a software engineer in both Web 3 as well as Web 2. I've been building within the Cosmos ecosystem for a long
Cosmos,
time.
okay.
And I studied both computer science and business, and now building out Initia as part of the founding team.
Amazing. And how was the first approach to crypto? How long ago was that?
Yeah, so I got pretty involved during DeFi summer.
Okay.
I was studying my master's degree in computer science, and I was just chilling in my mom's basement because it was COVID time.
Yeah.
And so during COVID, I was scared of dying, and there was nothing to do except for basically play Smash Bros. And farm and play around with shitcoins. So I was having a lot of fun in DeFi, and then I started to explore the Cosmos ecosystem more from a builder's perspective. I thought it was very interesting having the idea of app-specific blockchains, just building a chain that's dedicated to everything about what that specific application is trying to achieve. And what I thought was very interesting about Cosmos is you had this application-specific infrastructure, but across these hundreds of different blockchains, there's this thread of shared underlying infrastructure with the IBC and the Cosmos SDK that kind of combines and intertwines them all together.
Amazing. And before deep more into Initia and to DeFi about what you do, what was your parents or your family thoughts about you joining crypto? Because you joined and then we have FTX happening.
That's right. It was, both Terra, FTX, 3AC, all the stuff happened. I think they're pretty risk on.
Okay.
So they like it. My mom does some farming herself.
Oh, wow.
Or at least I manage the farm for her. But she calls it the Moonraker.
The Moonraker.
Because she thinks all of her tokens are going to the moon. So I think she's having a fun time.
We need to bring her here. She has a very good advocate for the community.
Yeah, she's a degen herself, for sure.
I never heard anybody talking about their mom being a degen. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Initia. So what are you bringing? What is new about you guys?
Sure.
What is like the cherry on the pie?
So Initia is a network for interwoven rollups. What we're doing is holistically rebuilding how multi-chain networks should look, operate, and feel across the architecture stack, the product stack, as well as the economic systems that tie them together. So I think it'd be easy to describe through some comparisons. So if you look at the Cosmos ecosystem right now, Cosmos SDK is the most flexible stack to build unique blockchains. That's why you have products like Berachain, DYDX-v4, Hyperliquid, Celestia that use the Cosmos SDK. The problem is you have to run a layer 1. When you run a layer 1, you have to have a validator set. And most importantly, you have to inflate your token supply to pay for security. This is a big pain in the ass.
It is.
So conversely, you have rollups on Ethereum. They make it very easy to launch blockchains, but the problem is they're just inflexible. You are confined to the ways that the EVM operates. You can really only use Solidity, and you're getting a copy-paste version of every one of these new OP stack chains. And then when it comes to peripheral infrastructure like native USDC, bridges, interoperability, oracles, all of that is kind of isolated and broken.
Okay.
And so what Initia does is it kind of combines both of these worlds. And so with what we're building in our technology, you can launch Cosmos SDK-based rollups. So you remove the need from a validator set. You can change everything about the rollup on the Cosmos SDK side itself. So you could take something like Osmosis and make it a rollup and remove its validator set. And then we've integrated EVM, MoveVM, and WASM-VM on top.
Wow.
So you can pick whatever smart contracting environment works best for you and your application, change literally everything about the rollup on the SDK side, and then through the Initia layer 1, you have access to native USDC and CCTP, oracles. There's fungibility across every one of these rollups. You have interoperability, that's why we call them interwoven. You can onboard from any EVM chain, Move chain, Cosmos chain directly into your rollup. And so that's why we describe this as holistically rebuilding multi-chain networks, because we're using kind of the best bits of Cosmos SDK and applying them into a new framework. And so we have the initial layer 1 and this layer 2 system. And the advantage is that we've been able to reapproach this problem by seeing the existing ecosystems and building this one cohesive multi-chain network together.
Amazing. And what is the next, do you have any announcement coming soon to the community and for the community for Initia is ready to hear? Maybe we have exclusive today?
Yeah, so we have a public testnet, which should be dropping by the end of this month.
Okay.
It's an incentivized testnet, so definitely go check it out and play around. It should be pretty fun.
And I have two more questions. If you have somebody watching this and they want to jump to crypto, understanding DeFi, rollups, Ethereum, EVM, there's a lot of concept to understand. But if there's somebody new from scratch, what would be your number one piece of advice to somebody new?
The number one piece of advice is just don't be afraid to lose some money.
I like that. Yeah.
The best way to experience things is just get on an application and start trying it. Use a small amount of money. Maybe you'll make some, maybe you'll lose some, but this is the way that you explore. Just actually try stuff out.
So you don't lose, you won't win.
Exactly.
You
gotta lose to win.
But remember, guys, always do your own research. No financial advice. Very important.
Of course.
But I agree with you. I think that most of the people that have been long term in the industry, they have lost money in some way. Maybe
I've lost a lot of money
rug
for
pull
sure.
or scam, or maybe you try something new didn't work. So I think that's the best way to learn.
It's all about experimentation.
Experimentation. It's like anything else. If people are doing tests, for example, to create the telephone, Bell has to go through a lot of tests, and he lost a lot of time. But until he discovered how to do the telephone.
You fail, and then one day you'll succeed. And that's how most founders go. That's how most startups have gone. Typically, you'll see people build 5 different startups before they find the one that actually succeeds.
I'm talking about founders and startups. Let me ask something about Canada.
Okay, sure.
I know you're from Vancouver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've seen a lot of Asians that have lived in Canada, and they create the biggest centralized exchange in the world. How is this seen right now after 10, 15 years that we've been to crypto? Are we seeing the people that have lead the industry, they're from Canada?
There is a lot of people from Canada. It's pretty surprising. I think there's just a drive for innovation. I think that also exists pretty well inside the US and some other countries as well. But I think, there's just somehow a very degen crypto scene within Canada.
Yeah, I like what you're doing, guys. And so how we can reach out to you? Are you on Twitter or Initia?
Follow Initia at Initia FDN on Twitter. And you can follow me at It's Always Zani.
It's always Oni.
Zani.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Oh, on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give a follow from the crypto user account as well. But Sonny, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much for dropping these tips to all the degens and non-degens of the crypto OGs.
Of course.
Thank you so much. And we stay here in the Shard Dubai, in the Museum of the Future. Don't miss out the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.